Welcome to the final project for leadership and negotiation. In this presentation, I will review my 4 culmination maxims that I feel provide not only the greatest takeaways from this course, but also the most solid foundation for developing my leadership style as I progress throughout my career. We will begin with my first maxim: a calm sea never made a skilled sailor. This was a phrase that I heard while in the U.S. Navy for over 6 years as an electronics technician. At the time, it sounded like a cheesy cliche meant to encourage young sailors new to the service to persevere through the difficulties of transitioning from civilian to military life. But looking back on my time in the service, and as I have progressed throughout my professional career since then, I have come to realize that resilience really is built from adversity. In this regard, challenges are opportunities, not obstacles to success. Embracing challenges in life and work help prepare you for anything that may come and allow you to be better equipped to handle whatever is thrown your way. This once cheesy cliche is now a maxim that I try to instill in my employees by encouraging them to be okay with failing, so long as they learn from their mistakes. Learning from our mistakes is how we grow and become not only better people and contributors to society, but better employees who contribute to the success of the company. That brings me to my second maxim: fighting change is as useless as fighting Father Time. After leaving the service and taking an electronics technician position with a company called Neopost, I was eventually promoted into management, taking over their shipping department. I went on to oversee their remanufacturing and production departments as well during my 12 years there. But the same challenge consistently presented itself: the immediate rejection of change, regardless of how beneficial it may be. This initially came as a surprise to me, as people who come from military backgrounds are very adept at change. Every 2 to 3 years our duty station changes, and oftentimes we must uproot and move across the country, if not the entire world. Even if you have not been promoted, these duty station changes often come with new assignments and responsibilities, even though technically you still hold the same job title. Therefore, going from an environment where change was a part of the culture to the civilian sector where the opposite was often the case was a little bit jarring. I have since come to realize that the rejection of change is a natural instinct in most people. However, I have learned that effectively communicating the logic and reasoning behind the need for change goes a long way to establishing buy-in. Just as important, revisiting past changes as a reminder for the benefits obtained from them will reduce hesitancy towards future change. My third maxim is to inspire through connecting. I have always considered myself to be a very good communicator, but recognize that while I am very personable and relate to people well, I have always had a large self-built wall between my professional and personal life that has prevented me from really developing my interpersonal skills at work. Therefore, I was not at all surprised to see that relationship management was my lowest rated emotional intelligence skill. A quote from Carnegie in How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age really stood out to me. When speaking of the importance in taking interest in others' interests, he said that if we are not mindful, the destination to which we flee can become a lonely, isolated isle. This really struck a chord with me, as it made me realize that in the eyes of my employees and coworkers, I've isolated myself on an isle separate from them and their concerns. Since then, I have taken my EQ strategy to heart and really placed an emphasis on being open and curious with my employees in an effort to improve my relationship management skills. I've always strived to inspire people to succeed, as opposed to demanding it, as inspirational leadership is the cornerstone of healthy workplaces, where everyone is driven to communicate and be a team player. Therefore, instead of just leading by example, which I have always considered to be what I need to do in order to inspire people, after this course, I now seek to inspire through connecting. The importance of communication and building a rapport was even more solidified this semester as we began reviewing negotiation skills and tactics. I have since developed the maxim common interests equal common ground as a way to expand upon my communication maxim and tie everything together. While obviously everyone won't always get along and personal interests vary tremendously from one person to the next, finding common ground is an extremely effective way to initiate and encourage buy-in. It is naturally more difficult to disagree or argue with someone that you have mutual interest with. Additionally, understanding the person across from the table will provide you a greater understanding of the trade-offs they are willing to accept. In closing, I feel that this course allowed for me to be very reflective and recognize my strengths and weaknesses as it pertains to being a leader. I have created and implemented a personal plan for developing my skills as a leader and have already seen returns from the way that my employees have responded at work. I will continue to work on integrating the leadership and communication concepts learned in this course as I move forward professionally. Thank you for your time.